What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Jericho Report Weekly News Briefing. It is Saturday, the 7th of February, 2015. As always, the first link below will take you over to the Blogspot post. That's where you can find all of this madness I'm about to give you. Another week of madness, indeed. If you didn't see my last 3 videos, you definitely want to check those out. All very important topics, in my opinion. Let's get started. Did everybody see this plane crash? At least 25 dead as Taiwanese plane with 53 passengers crashes in the river. Amazing video. The fact that anybody survived that crash is just astounding. I'll put a link to it. My thoughts to that. I also had a train crash up in New York. 6 die when packed metro train hits car on track, sparking fiery crash. The third rail actually going through the cab of the train and impaling people. I'll put a link to that. My thoughts to everybody involved in that horrific train crash. Other news going on. University of California will require measles vaccination for incoming students, be advised. Also, my friends in Oregon legislator wants to eliminate philosophical vaccine exemption. Be advised if you're in that state. You want to be aware of that. Since we're on the topic of vaccines, flu vaccine barely effective against Maine viral strain. This from BBC Health. I'll put a link to this. Come out February 5th. I got another one from Canadian News. Canadian study finds flu shot could increase risk of getting sick. This come out January 30, 2015 from Canada News. Be advised. Obama, Christians under attack again this week. Obama to Christians, get off your high horse. Atrocities have been committed in the name of Jesus Christ as well. Our president, the president of these United States, comes out this week and attacks Christianity. He's getting all kinds of blowback and backlash. Definitely go see a video over my favorites of a guy telling him pretty forwardly to, we need to know that you defend Christianity as much as you defend Islam, Mr. President. I got one more to give you here. Speaking of Islam, the people who thought Sharia law could never happen in the United States. This is from CBS Dallas-Fort Worth. North Texas, home to first Islamic tribunal in the U.S. practicing Sharia law. Over to financial news. How the Dow Jones Industrial fared Friday. Looks like it was lost at 60 points. However, for the week, it was up 659 points. Closed at 17,824, closing in on 18,000 once again. Meanwhile, I hope you've enjoyed these low gas prices because check this out. OPEC leader says oil could shoot back up to 200. Can you hear your friends and family now asking you what happened? Well, I was trying to tell you weeks ago what was going on. The big lie, 5.6 unemployment, it is outright fraud. This from Gallup. Meanwhile, the official story is U.S. gains 257,000 jobs. Unemployment ticks up to 5.7%. Again, check out the article before that one. Next up, we got Radio Shack files. Chapter 11, bankruptcy after years of losses. Saw that coming. I used to love going to Radio Shack when I was a kid. Used to get those electronic kits. Back then, Radio Shack was great. You go into a Radio Shack now, it's just a cell phone store. They don't know anything about electronics. From the Daily Signal, IRS, out of work Radio Shack employees, if you're looking for a job, IRS seeking 9,000 employees to enforce Obamacare. I would never take that job. A couple more. Pentagon lost track of weapons worth $400 million in Yemen. I bet they handed up in the hands of ISIS. Speaking of ISIS, EU to allocate over $1 billion to fight against the Islamic State. We're over to New World Order Police State News now. We got video shows Seattle police spraying teacher at MLK rally. This happened a couple weeks back, but just be advised. Put a link to that. Police gunned down unarmed man who pulled into his own driveway at traffic stop. February 3rd, 2015. What's new in Nazi America? The NYPD just got a lot more militarized. I think I reported on that last week, but there's another link on that. And somewhere out in California, officials approved plan to buy armored medical vehicle. A small California town needs a medical armored truck for the police department. Democrat lawmakers fail to provide factual support for high-capacity magazine clip bill. Be advised, high-capacity magazines under attack again. That from Bearing Arms. While net neutrality wins, the FCC will propose strong Title II regulation. They are wanting to treat the internet like a utility. Enjoy this tool we have to communicate. We will not have it forever. We got one from Hawaii News Now. Fox 19 investigates iPhone iSpy. Mainstream article talking about how your smartphone spies on you and tracks your every move. We told you about that years ago. And from We Are Change. 1 in 10 cell phone antenna sites violates government limit on excessive EMF radiation. Keep in mind that your brain is electrical, and there's towers everywhere shooting frequencies at you. There is a war on for your mind. Some of us don't even think about. Over to World War III news. We got Jordan avenges pilots' execution, strikes ISIS targets in Syria. So they executed 3 on death row, plus now they're striking targets in Syria. Speaking of ISIS, here's an old article from 2014. Just listen, though. ISIS leader trained by Israeli Mossad, NSA documents reveal. Just keep that in mind when the mainstream media is giving you information on this supposed war on ISIS. Other news going on, Russia deploys nuclear ICBM launchers on combat patrol. This came out 2-5 from Zero Hedge. We've got one from the Telegraph. Putin suffers from Asperger's syndrome, says the Pentagon. So as he pulls out his missiles, the Pentagon's firing back saying he's mentally ill. To be expected. Meanwhile, Saudi oil seen as lever to pry Russian support from Syria's Assad. Yeah, no crap, that from the New York Times. Speaking of Saudi, an interesting story comes out this week. Lawmakers say there's evidence that shows Saudi Arabia aided 9/11 hijackers. There's a lot more people that aided the 9/11 supposed hijackers. 9/11 was an inside job. North Korea threatens U.S. with final doom. Lil Kim's running his mouth again. Must be bored playing Xbox. Meanwhile, and an example of how the mainstream media lies to you. Brian Williams apologizes for false Iraq story years ago. He claimed he was in a helicopter that took fire. No such thing happened. You know, it's interesting to see like Fox News and CNN criticizing this man, talking about, oh, the scandal. Everyone who works at mainstream media, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, all of you are freaking liars, and you know it. Over to Earth changes in 2012 news now. Looks like there haven't been any big quakes in the past week. I'll put this link from USGS. Big quakes on the left, small quakes on the right. A lot of small quakes going on, as usual. We got limo riding groundhog bites Wisconsin mayor February 2nd, 2015. It was Groundhog Day. I didn't even think about this year. But the groundhog didn't want to be messed with, apparently. Smoke from Mexico could be making tornadoes in the U.S. stronger and more deadly, says CBS News February 4, 2015. That's a new one. Meanwhile, city leaders to start part 2 of cloud seeding project. This is out of Channel 6, Oklahoma. What is cloud seeding, Oklahoma? It must be a bunch of conspiracy theorists down there. Cloud seeding, that's just a conspiracy theory. Possible meteor sighted over Sonoma County. This from the Press Democrat on January 31. Be advised, more things flying through the atmosphere. Meanwhile, be advised, they're getting ready to fire up the CERN in pursuit of universal truth. Scientists prepare to restart the Large Hadron Collider. Maybe we'll see another Norway death spiral in the sky. I don't know. The FAA regulating business on the moon. Be advised, you're looking to get off this planet because of CERN. Don't go to the moon. The FAA is regulating business. I wouldn't go to Mars either. A fire ends mock Mars mission in Utah desert. That January 28. Texas woman pregnant. Over to strange and bizarre news now. I'm getting ahead of myself. A lot of strange news this week. You know, last week we had the nun that was apparently immaculate conception. Now this week we have Texas woman pregnant with Satan's baby. This come out February 2nd. I have no idea. Put a link to that. We got from the BBC, we got U.S. boy 3 shoots both parents in New Mexico. Another accidental shooting by a child. This time he shoots both parents. Good shot. Tragic story. People need to keep guns out of the hands of kids. Just saying. From Metro, we got girl poured acid. Very graphic story, be advised. Girl poured acid on boyfriend's penis after he released sex tape. Wow. Really. Speaking of sex, we got troubled actor Randy Quaid's bizarre YouTube meltdown. Randy Quaid made a bizarre video on YouTube. Daily Mail has the video if you want to check it out. He's apparently, you know, he was come out years ago talking about how Hollywood was, and I actually understood what he was saying, how Hollywood was turning against him, but now it looks like he's kind of losing it a little bit. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Man likely won't be charged for walking naked down the interstate. February 3rd. Where'd this happen at? Somewhere in the United States. This is Channel 8 Media out of somewhere. Woot. Meanwhile, man has nose cut off to look like comic books Captain America supervillain Red Skull. Rest in peace, Michael Jackson. Hee. Daily Mail has this man who had sex for a year with a captive dolphin called Dolly speaks out about their long-term love affair in new documentary and claims she seduced him. Sex with dolphins. That's a new one. And one more. UK moves toward groundbreaking feat that could change the world forever. We are messing with dangerous things here, people. They're talking about creating human beings from 3 people's DNA. The world has gone mad, I tell you. You know, we all know the day is coming when you're going to be able to download your brain to the internet. What's that going to look like? For all other news, please check my favorite videos. I have favorited lots of videos over the past week. All kinds of fresh content over there. Definitely pull it up, scan over the title, see if there's anything you don't know about. Got some shout-outs this week. Shout out to a sheriff. New York sheriff tells Oath Keepers to violate gun law. Throw renewal permits in the garbage. Right on. Shout out to that sheriff. That from Vice News. We got Good Samaritan saves woman's life after overpowering cop who was trying to kill her. Shout out to the Good Samaritan, February 5th. Put a link to that. Shout out to the New Jersey student wins court case to keep under God in the Pledge of Allegiance. Right on. Good for you. Put a link to that. They're trying to take God out of everything these days. And I got a few shout-out videos, people who made videos about vaccines in the past week. This man, I just came across, some new YouTuber that I just came across, Gary Fox. I'll put a link to his video. 10 minutes long. Great video. Check it out. Welcome aboard. We got Freedom for Kaz, old school YouTuber, has done a lot of work on vaccines. He put out a great video, 6 minutes long. Definitely check that out, as well as Montagraph put out a great video, 5 minutes long. Check out his video as well. Check out the link Monty has there. Very interesting stuff. That's all I got for this week. If you like the report, please give me a thumbs up or give it a thumbs down. If you think it's the worst of YouTube, it sucks. You never want to see again, please rate, though. It helps me move around. I do appreciate it. You can also follow me on Facebook, Google+, and Twitter for live show alerts, breaking news alerts, new upload alerts, always posted over there as soon as they're up. That's all I got, guys. Another week of madness. What's going to come next week, I don't know. But as always, stay safe, take care. Have a great rest of the weekend. Have a great week. I will see you on the next one.